Synchronous motion that we have considered so far is its alternator mode and working on its local load. But in this unit we are going to consider same machine working on grid instead of local load. Behavior of machine working on grid is quite different from the machine working as alternator on its local load. Since inherent speed of machine is only synchronous speed, current multiplied by alternator depends on mechanical power supplied by prime mover. Naturally, this current controlled by prime mover is active current and excitation controls the power factor at which current is supplied to grid. Such a behavior of alternator is useful only to understand behavior of machine as a motor because synchronous motor is going to get supply from grid. When machine works like alternator, prime mover has to overcome retarding torque produced by active load current. As prime mover starts reducing power supplied to active load current supplied by alternator drops. Excitation controls reactive component and terminal voltage is held constant by grid. So overexcited machine has lagging current component and underexcited machine has leading current component. If machine is supplied with mechanical power exactly sufficient to cope up with mechanical losses and excitation is tuned to critical excitation, that is neither underexcited nor overexcited, then machine is said to be working in floating condition. Corresponding phasor diagram is shown on left side of slide at left of yellow line. Since load current is zero, magnetic poles usually created by armature current would be absent, hence no magnetic locking. Now if some mechanical load is applied to shaft for overcoming retarding torque applied by mechanical load, accelerating torque must be produced by machine. This requires active current in phase with grid voltage. When machine was working as alternator, terminal voltage to has to force current against grid voltage by supplying power to grid. So all the sources are working in opposition locally and they work to supply load collaboratively. This shows that both terminal voltage and armature current reverse in comparison with alternator operation. Since induced EMF E, terminal voltage V and armature current IA are basic parameters to draw phasor diagram, we can consider E as a minus E for reversal purpose. If we compare working of machine as a synchronous motor with induction motor, then similarity in both motors are getting supply from three phases for distributed armature windings. In both cases, current sets of magnetic field rotating in at synchronous speed. The difference in reflected current due to rotor field is added using transformer action, but in case of synchronous motor, armature reaction effect is added as a fictitious reactance to actual inductance reactance. From phasor diagram for various excitations, we see that current leads for overexcitation. It is at unity power factor for critical excitation and current is lagging for underexcitation. The crucial point to understand in the context of working of machine is changeover from alternator to motor. Prime mover is considered to be decoupled from shaft when rotor of the machine is rotating at synchronous speed. The reversal of voltage and current are automatic if rotor shaft is applied with mechanical load. One more point that we may note from all phasor diagrams from slide is angle sigma between grid voltage and induced EMF E reverses for motor operation in comparison with alternator operation. This angle sigma is known as power angle and therefore with constant load on synchronous motor sigma is constant. Further, we may resolve armature current IA into two components. One is in phase with grid voltage and other component is in phase quadrature with grid voltage. These components are IA cos phi and IA sin phi. Ia cos phi or active component is constant for constant power angle sigma, but reactive component Ia sin phi changes with excitation.